Happy Thursday, everybody. Jason here with the Beer Money Pulling Team. And today we're not talking about diesel smokes or pulling tractors or 3,000 horsepower modifieds. We're talking about high horsepower profitability. That's what we're going to talk about, Kevin. I just thought of that. So I'm live, everybody, with Kevin. Is it Hugendorn? How do I say your name properly?
Hogendorn, straight O's.
Perfect. And you're the founder of the Zisk, Z-I-S-K, Dairy Profitability app. First of all, how did you think of Zisk? We got to get right into this.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's a Polish word, and it means profit.
Okay.
So I just decided to try to find a short, easy to say word that meant profit.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's kind of like the Frosted Frog guys. They looked up, and it's like that's how they came up with that too. They were telling me how they found that name. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for joining me today. We have a lot of obviously, truck and tractor pulling compares to your world, and we got together and hey, I want to introduce the Zisk Dairy app to my followers, especially dairy farmers. Can you kind of introduce yourself a little bit, talk about the Zisk Dairy app, and then we'll get into testimonials and different things like that.
Sure, yeah. So my name's Kevin Hogendorn, like you said. I'm actually a veterinarian by training. And
Nice.
I found myself working a ton in the feed industry, specifically dairy farms, and ended up doing a lot with finance, banking, different things like that. And if anybody's watching the dairy markets out there, the milk markets, the feed price, it's really scary. It's all over the board. You don't know what's going to happen next. So, it bothered me to see dairymen losing sleep at night, wondering what's happening tomorrow, what's happening next week, next year. And there was no easy way, talking to a lot of my customers for them to find the milk price. Where do I look? What does it mean? And so I decided to build this app just to essentially help my dairy customers out. Easy way to look at the markets. But then I also added in this profitability part. So the app updates every from the Chicago markets, and It calculates what your dairy will make. Go ahead.
Did I break up, Kevin? Did I interrupt you?
You broke up just a little bit, but go ahead.
Okay, no, that's funny that you say that because I hear, I got some buddies who milk and I'm like, hey, what are milk prices doing? I'll let you know when I get my milk check at the end of the month. That was kind of always the answer I got from them, how they were doing. And I'm so glad you said this because one of the first things you said was, as a business owner, you're so involved in the day-to-day, the businesses, and then you work 12, 14, 15, 16 hours a day or more. You come in at night, you just want to go to bed and get up and do it all again. And then all of a sudden at the end of the month, you check your balance sheet and where did all the money go, right? And that's so neat that you're doing something like this. So I wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, so on that line, if you download the app, it's a free app. I mean, goodness knows, I don't want to make farmers pay for anything more than they're already paying for, but I also built alerts into the app. So if you don't have time to watch the milk price, due to your point, you're working 14 hours a day, you can just set up different checkpoints, and the app will let you know if milk price hits a certain level. Say you want to know if milk price hits $18 for November milk, you just set that up, and it watches the markets for you. The other thing too I want to talk about is margin. Every business has their income, but they also have expenses, and all too often in the ag industry, we just watch our income, right? If milk price goes up, we're happy. If milk price goes down, we're not so happy. Versus I built in here feed cost and all the other expenses. So sometimes you'll actually see milk price fall, but the amount of profit you're estimated to make goes up because the feed prices fell further. Unfortunately, in the last 3 months, we haven't had feed prices fall at all. They've just been skyrocketing. But the other thing too, I think, to talk about a little bit, especially depending on the age of dairy farmer you are, if you milked cows in the 80s, your milk price probably only moved $1.
Yep.
From 12 to 13 and back.
Right.
I think in the last 12 months, I'd have to look at the numbers, but I think we've moved like $12 up and down. It's absolutely crazy.
Yep.
And I'm seeing more and more articles, and I myself started probably about a year and a half ago, when people would ask my advice, what's the milk price going to do, Kevin? And honest answer now is I have no idea.
Right.
I don't think we can predict anymore. The world markets are too wild, and everybody knows everything, right? So if China decides to pass a law that they can drink more milk or less milk, I mean, boom, we know 5 minutes later.
Yeah, it's not, you're not waiting a couple weeks, and then you can react a lot quicker to get things going on that. So
Yep.
What did you kind of roll this out? Looked like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, or how long has this been going, Kev?
Yeah, we rolled it out in 2018.
That's like, okay.
Yeah, and so right now we actually just a couple months ago hit 2 million cows using it. So that's over 20% of the dairy cows in the U.S. I think we're pretty proud of those numbers. And if a dairyman's wondering, gee, I wonder if anybody's using this thing. Yeah, 20% of the cows in the U.S. are using it. And like I said, the best advice I can give a dairyman is just download it and start playing with it.
Okay.
So.
And it's free. It's free.
Yep. Absolutely free. Now, you are going to see some little ads on the bottom.
Yep.
And I hate those as much as everyone else, but that's the only way we can keep it free. So.
No, I think we're all used to that now, between YouTube ads and Facebook ads and everything else. I think it's a pretty common thing. And if it is something that's free, you got to expect it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you, in Wisconsin, we still have some small dairy farms. We got, the bigger 700-800, and that might not be big to you, but that's kind of in the county I live in. That's some of our bigger dairy farms because of the amount of acreage per the cow. I don't know the exact, but the DNR says how many cows you have per how many acres of ground you have, basically, to get rid of manure.
Right.
Are you seeing more like big California dairies using this? Is it kind of spread across the board? What are you seeing?
Yeah, it's all over the board, and sometime in the future I can show you some of them charts too. But
yeah,
obviously a lot bigger number of dairies from Wisconsin have downloaded it. But one dairy in California downloads it. It's 5,000 cows.
You said 20 million cows, Kevin, are on it now.
2 million.
2 million.
2 million. Yep. There's about 9.5 million cows in the U.S. and we've got about 2 million, and that number just keeps growing. So. But yeah, looking at the map, I mean, Wisconsin is just plastered with users, due to the number of dairies, for sure. But I see, I have dairies as small as 18, 20 cows, and some as large as 70, 80,000 cows. So it gives you a pretty good picture of who's out there when you look at those numbers.
Agreed. From a testimonial standpoint, Kev, what are some stories? Can you share some actual stories you've heard from people, like specific, because I feel like that always helps maybe convince somebody to try something, besides the fact that you have 20% of the cows in the United States using the app already. Do you have any specific stories? Anybody, any friends or any of your customers that have used it? Like, wow, this is the best thing since canned beer, or anything cool like that?
Well, it's not close to canned beer. That's a tough one. But yeah, so I have, what really tickled me is when I had customers starting to text me screenshots of it. Like, hey, look what milk price did today, and now most of them are telling me it's like it's essentially like your 401k, right? It's like if you're playing around in the markets, they're just checking it every day. They wake up, pop it open, take a look what milk price is doing, check it a couple more times during the day. I think of all the dairymen I've talked to that use it, nobody really goes back to trying to find markets anywhere else. It's just so simple and easy to use. And then, I guess, I just go to my Facebook page, which is just plastered with comments about, this is a super cool app. It's super easy to use. It's easy to read. So that's probably the best testimonials is, once people download it, we get all these little blurb and comments about how much they love the app. So
how have you got the word out previously? I know you have some social media stuff, but have you been advertising in dairy magazines? Has it been word of mouth? What's worked best for you?
Everything. So we've sent out postcards that got us a big hit. A lot of word of mouth. But honestly, Facebook has been just great. I see Facebook, dairymen share so much stuff on Facebook. It's just a way you can talk to thousands of other dairymen and see what they're doing and see what they're finding. And yeah, Facebook's been really big for us. And then trade shows, of course, we love trade shows because then you actually get to talk to people and they tell you what they like and what they don't like and that type of thing. So, and then we're actually excited because I don't know if this is a tipping point or not, but we're starting to get dairy magazines publishing articles about the app without us even talking to them. So they're picking it up off the street. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yep. Yep.
No, I wanted to show, so I'm on your Facebook page right now and I'm showing this to everybody. So it looks like, let's see here, May 14th, Armored Animals Health. They're going to talk to you, Confident, Fearless Farming with Zisk. Is that like a podcast or is that another live?
I think it's a live Facebook Live. So Animart, that's a Beaver Dam, Wisconsin company, I think. Animal health company. So a lot of people should know who they are. I said Animart, sorry. That's the old company. It's now called Armor Animal Health. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. We won't tell them you said that. Nobody's watching it. Let's see here. I saw there's the other one here. Knowing what's app and dairy. Sioux Nation Ag. They must have posted the SiouxNational.com. So yeah.
Yep. That was a podcast we did a month or so ago.
Cool. Yep. Yeah, that's neat. I mean, you're saying that, yeah. So that's on Spotify. So that's cool. A lot of the podcasts are really becoming popular, like with the millennial farmer and all these things that people are spending so much time in their tractors or in their trucks or even in the barn with the ear pods now, and you're in your tractor, you can listen to podcasts. It's really becoming an educational force. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
What kid did you pay there to put in that shirt?
That's actually Daniel Olson's little boy. So Daniel's a forage innovator from Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I met him just working on dairies, and he's told a few people about the app, and he's got a passel of kids, so we decided to help him out with a few shirts.
I like that a lot. I just want to zoom through your Facebook page here a little bit. I shared this one the other day. I thought that was pretty neat, because that's the one thing. Oh, I'm going to try to behave myself on here, not saying that. I wasn't call them all tree huggers, but all the people that are saying all these cows are bad for the environment and stuff like that with all the methane gas, that stuff makes me mad. And it's nice to have true science behind, posts like this, an event. You went to school for a long time to do what you do. You actually know what you're talking about, Kevin. So.
Yeah, right. I love these. If our cows are, if you think about how many buffalo there were in the U.S., 300 years ago, there was a sight more methane being produced at that point.
Just a bunch.
Than there ever is now.
Just a bunch. Yeah, so there's a lot of neat stuff on your Facebook page. So I'll be sure to share this out for everybody and get things going on that. What events do you have kind of coming up next? Do you have any trade shows you're going to? Kind of talk about the next couple months.
Yeah, I mean, obviously World Dairy Expo is coming up in October. But
I'll be there. That's an hour from my house. So
awesome. Yep. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that'll be our biggest probably trade show of the year. We had a trade show in Sioux Falls last month in March, which went great. Other than that, in the office here, we just talk about when people see the app, they download it and love it. And that's our biggest challenge. Is it's not will you download the app? It's just getting it in front of people. And when they see it, they download it, they like it, they talk about it. Our job is just to get it in front of more people. And I love feedback. I'm actually surprised by the lack of constructive feedback I get. I guess it's probably, I get the, hey, we love the app, cool, thumbs up. I guess it's probably because they think I'm some software guy living somewhere that really is really super smart. They don't know that I'm just a dorky veterinarian that would love feedback. So I'd throw that out to your whole audience. Reach out to us on Facebook or email or what, and tell us, hey, we love this about the app, but you ought to do this and that. There's a lot of things. We'd love feedback because that just makes us better.
Yeah, I definitely want to have you come out to the Thunder in the Valley tractor pull in Rock Valley there. I think it's July 9th, 10th, or 11th. I'll get the exact dates on that. But if you can come out, you can sit at the tractor with me, and we'll drink some canned beer and we'll talk smart. So it'll be fun.
I'd love to. That's 10 miles from my house. So I usually go every year.
Good deal. Good deal.
You bet.
No, I'll share. I'll start sharing this, and I guess let's do it. Let's try to do it live every couple weeks and just update people on what's going on. And like, I have 1 million followers on social media, and I know a lot of them, if they're not dairy farmers, are connected to dairy farmers, and we'll get that app out there. We'll try to get that from 2 million cows up to 3 million cows here in the next couple of days. So
Perfect.
cool.
Sounds great.
Kevin, thanks for your time, and we'll stay in touch. Okay, buddy?
You bet. Thanks,
Have a
Jason.
great day.
See you. You too.
So check that out, everybody. The Zisk Dairy app. He talked about that. He's a veterinarian, so he's not some tech guy or guru, not trying to make a bunch of money. He's truly trying to help dairy farmers. So if you're a dairy farmer, please share this with fellow dairy farmers, or just get it out there. You know, tag people in it, take a snap of it, put it on your Snapchat. I love farmers. I love milk, and it's a backbone of our country. And people don't even realize there's people that still think that chocolate milk comes from chocolate cows or from brown cows. So let's spread the word. Let's use the power of social media to do something positive, and let's check it out. So thanks for watching my video. Check out the Zisk app on your phone. Have a great day.